full, it's been powerful, it's been fire. We have consistently, been enlightened. We have consistently been rejuvenated. We've unlocked knowledge and wisdom, in very high doses. We have really had our mind open to quite a lot of things. Like I always say, it always starts from the mind. It's about the mind. So whatever it is that you want to become, whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that you aspire to, it always starts from your mind. As a man think, that is the word. So is it. Right. So I want to say welcome to Mindshift webinar series for October 2025. And for those of us that are already in the chat room, we see you, we appreciate you, we thank you for being consistent. So you can drop an emoji to, express how you're feeling. You can drop a chat. How are you feeling this evening? This is Sunday. It's raining in some part of Lagos today, right? I hope you were not caught in the rain. I've also had a very busy day, to be honest. I'm just coming in from some programs, but this must be done. So how are you feeling today? Hope you're excited. Hope you are ready to go. Hope you are energized. Yes. Hope you have learned a few things of your own from the beginning of my Mindshift webinar series. I want to hope that every edition has blessed you in one way or the other. So just drop an emoji, show how you're feeling, express yourself. We're happy to take your feedback. And before I really delve into what we have today, let me state by way of announcement that the next edition of Mindshift, which is the November edition, by the grace of God, will not be virtual, but will be physical. Recall that I said it the last time that we are going to be having a physical edition of Mindshift to round off the year, right? We have been meeting since May, and we felt that there is power in in physical gathering, right? It helps to connect. It helps to, have interaction. It really opens our mind to a lot of things. We can do a whole lot of things that we cannot do online. We can do it physically. So, by the grace of God, God's Spirit in our life, come 29th November, and that should be the last Saturday of November, we are going to be having a physical edition of Mindshift webinar series. It's going to be taking place at Quem Church, K2 Adaloko Road, in Ijani, K2 Janiki, and it's going to be taking place by 10 a.m. in the morning. Our speakers are confirmed already, I can assure you that. So plans are already in place. Everything is ready. Gearing up. We are gearing up for that wonderful day. I'm eager to see quite a lot of people who have not seen physically, but who we have built a community virtually. So please note down that date in your diary, 29th of November, Mindshift. It will not be webinar, it will be seminar, right? It's going to be a seminar program. It's going to be physical. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to have a lot of fun. We are going to, expose ourselves to a lot of powerful teaching and practical trainings, right? And of course, we are going to network, we are going to socialize, right? It's going to be powerful. So look out for the flyer and for more information on that program. And if you are not already on the Mindshift group, on the Mindshift platform, please do ensure to join. Secretariats kindly help to put out the link or the contacts by which people who are not already on the Mindshift group can join that group. That is where we are going to be sharing information as far as November 29th is concerned. Okay. So on that note, my name is Oluwaseun Banja, and I am the convener of Mindshift webinar series. By the grace of God, this is 5.0. We're in the 5th edition, and today is going to be very interesting, quite I mean, a bit different from the norm, right? So our speaker for today is someone that, I mean, we've interacted with before, and I mean, I'm excited to let you know that she's back, and this time around it's even going to be better than the first. Right. So today we are going to be talking about leadership. That leadership starts with you. You have to lead yourself first. That is what we are going to be looking at today. Right. So, and it is very interesting for you to know that uh, every one of us aspire to be leaders. I mean, if I were to ask everybody on this chat box now, I think we have about 15 people right here. We are getting more. It's 16 now. I welcome everyone who's just joining us. I welcome Fola Shade from the UK. A whole lot of people are just joining us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of this. So, back to the crux of the matter. Now, so John C. Maxwell, said about leadership that leadership is not about titles, right? It is not about positions. It's not about flowcharts. It's about life, one life influencing another. That is what John C. Maxwell said, one of the finest writers about leadership. So it says that leadership is not about positions, it's not about flowcharts, it's not about titles. It's about a life influencing another. So, but this is where a lot of people miss it. Before you can influence people, before you can say you are a leader, then you must lead yourself first. And that is the essence of today's webinar. The theme is lead yourself first. Take charge of your life's destiny. So that's what we're going to be speaking about today. And like I told you earlier, our speaker is already here, and she is about to take the stage. But I think it's proper for me to invite her to introduce her to you, as she be best to take over. My speaker, of course, is Stella Oko, and coming, let me get my slide up. So Stella Oko is my speaker, and she, just a moment. Yes, thank you. I hope yes, I hope my slide is up now. So let's talk about Stella Oko. She's a learning and development, HR organizational development consultant, and she's the chief learning officer of Snow Hill Consulting. So who is Stella Oko? With nearly 2 decades of experience in human capital development, Stella Oko is a distinguished learning and development professional whose expertise spans strategic learning and organizational development and inclusive of curriculum development, right? Formerly the learning and development manager of PricewaterhouseCoopers Nigeria, she led firm-wide onboarding initiatives, implementing training strategies, and developed innovative learning interventions. Stella is a 3-time master's degree holder, currently pursuing a PhD. She holds an MSc in Human Resource and Organizational Management from Sheffield Hallam University, an MBA from the University of the People, and a Masters of Industrial and Labor Relations from the University of Lagos. She is a certified master trainer, a chartered HR professional, CIPM, CIPD, and an experienced mediator. Stella is passionate about leadership development, workplace diversity, and lifelong learning. She actively contributes to knowledge sharing through her blog, organization development on the silver screen, and regularly collaborates with nationwide development initiatives such as Teach for Nigeria and Youth Enterprise. Her experience has been recognized with PwC Values Champion Award and multiple Hallam Awards. She'll be speaking on Lead Yourself First, taking charge of your life's destiny. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure and honor to bring on board our speaker for today, Dr. in the making, Stella Oko, to commence the training. Please let us show support. Let us clap. Let us send virtual claps, virtual applause. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Stella, you can have the floor now. Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Can you
awesome.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Great. I sent, I was hoping that we won't go through that entire list, but we need to work on that citation. I'll make it shorter
Okay,
at the same time.
okay,
Thank you so much.
that's fine.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
opening up your platform. It's always a privilege to be here among great thinkers and people who are interested in, going forward and really progressing in life. This is another opportunity for us to learn from one another, from each other, and really improve on our lives. So I learned something, I tried to share it, and in the process of sharing, I learned that thing a little bit more, a little bit better. So I'm not talking from just head knowledge, I'm talking from personal experience. And I'm
Stella,
really
sorry, Stella, would it be possible to, share your video? Would that be possible?
okay. So I am wearing, like, I don't know, 6 items of
Okay,
clothing because it's
okay,
pretty cold
okay.
here. So if you don't mind seeing an Eskimo, this is what I
No,
look
that,
like.
that would be nice. It would be nice to see you. And let's know what it feels like in other part of the world. It's hot in Nigeria already,
All
so it's
right, this
okay.
is the
Yeah.
video.
Wow.
Yeah. So and to
You
save
really
my
look like
data,
an Eskimo.
right? So
Interesting. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
also
Please.
I'm having a bit of a challenge with data. So I'm going to save my data. I'm going to turn off this video at some point
All
later
right.
on.
That's fine. Please, you can turn it off at any point you want to.
Okay,
It's
okay,
it's up.
okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. So it's going to be a very brief session because I want to believe that some of us are already exposed to some of the things we're going to be discussing. But you can be inside a room and just discover something new almost every time, depending on which angle, if you are looking from the roof or from the floor or from any corner of the room, you always see something different, or you see the same thing but from a different angle. So that's the mindset I want us to have when we are coming into this topic of leading self-leadership. So which areas are we going to focus on when we're talking about self-leadership? We're going to talk about values, core values, and we're going to talk about our goals. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of our conversation today, I would like us to take a minute and acknowledge the presence of Almighty God, because He's the one that makes everything possible as we plan. It happens that way. It's not because we are so wonderful, it's because God is on our side. So I acknowledge the presence of the Almighty, and I bless God for the opportunity for us to be here today. So I'm going to share my slide now. Let's see where. Share screen. And, yeah, I'm going to do entire screen. Okay, so because I've left the classroom, please just let me know if the slide is showing. Is it all right? Yes or no?
It's showing yes.
All right, great, great. So, like every serious child of God, we started with our faith. And since what we are looking for here is how to, first of all, establish our own leadership, our own self-leadership, being able to take charge of our lives, then the first thing we should start with is the Word of God. So I don't know how this scripture resonates with you, but every time I face challenges, I always come back to this, that Ephesians 4:14, that we be no longer children. You know, Paul said, when I was a child, I thought like a child, I spoke like a child, I behaved like a child. But now that I am no longer a child, I have left all those childish things behind. So we are no longer children. I'm not talking about just spiritually or as believers or as faith people. Some of us might still be young in the faith, but I'm talking about age, the physical age. We are not children. We are considered, in some constituents, we are considered adults, depending on our age range. By 18, you start having certain rights, adult rights. So we are no longer children, considered children. So how will we know that we are no longer considered children? When we are no longer tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind. So what are the things that we can do to stop us, to help us not be tossed to and fro? That word tossed is a very strong word, because, you know, it's like you are on a wave and it's just going left, right, and it's out of control. And James 1:6 also reinforces that, saying that anybody that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. So it's just like an emphasis. We can see certain things being repeated here. Waves, tossed, wind, you know, and this is life. Life is like the waves of the ocean going up and down. How do we now make sure that we are stable, we are steady, we are constant? This is where our values come in. So the question is, what is at your core? What are those things that are going to keep you anchored, keep you steady, so that you are no longer tossed to and fro? Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, these are your values. What are values? Values have all kinds of description. I went through several materials, internet, you know, trying to come up with. There is no standard definition. It's left to each individual to interpret what those core values are. But the common words that keep coming up is worth. What do you consider of worth? Principles. What are those things that, you know, make you who you are, that you cannot negotiate? They are non-negotiables. You can't cross those boundaries. The standards that you have set for yourself, and your judgment of what is important in your life, what really matters to you. These things will help you to identify what is important, what you need to focus on, who you are. It declares who you are to yourself and to the world around you, and what you stand for. Because in this life, we need to stand for something. We can't be wishy-washy. We can't be up and down, 50-50, sitting on the fence. No, you need to be clear about what you stand for. And because these are things that will help you do what you can do in this life and achieve certain objectives and goals. So now we're getting into the matter of why are these principles, standards, judgments, important things, why are they useful? So they act as compass. So we've been talking about waves, wind, you know, the tossing to and fro of life. And it talks about like a nautical travel, like you are on a ship on a voyage. And when you're on a voyage, when you are navigating, what do you need? You need a compass, a true compass, something that will tell you this is the direction, this is north, this is south, this is west, this is east. And these values act as compass. They guide your thoughts, words, and actions. So, and then they also act as an anchor, something that will steady, that will stabilize your ship. Okay, we're on the sea now, right? So we need something that will hold the ship steady, that won't let it, be swept away into sea in all kinds of dangerous situation. So the values, the things that you hold as important, these are the things that will ground you, provide direction, motivation, and give you that sense of purpose. So we have tried to come up with a definition of what values are. We've given it a description. We have also discussed why we need to have them or be aware of them or, really make them important. What is their use? What is the value of values, so to say? So the next thing we're going to talk about is how do you know what you value? So these are lists of possible things that we can consider as values. I'm going to leave this list on the screen for like 2-3 minutes or even longer. The idea is for you to look at the list. These are just words on the screen, but what do they really mean to you as a person, as an individual? What does achievement mean to you? So if someone asks you now and say, oh, what do you value? XYZ, and you say, oh, me as Stella, I value kindness. But what does kindness mean? What does it mean to be kind? My idea of kindness may be slightly different from your idea of kindness. But does that mean that if I am showing kindness, you are the one that will determine whether it's kindness or not? No, I'm the one showing the kindness. So it's for me to say what I am doing is kindness or not. So that's my definition that is now at play of what kindness is. The same goes for success. For instance, at the bottom of the middle row there, we have the word success. As many societies, they value riches as a sign, as a symbol of success. And not just riches. How do you show these riches? You build houses, you have cars, big mansions, I don't know, fancy clothes, all sorts of things that we say, oh, these are riches. This is a sign of being rich. And that is a sign of success. In other societies, they don't really prioritize those kind of evidence of success. They've prioritized other things as a sign of success. If somebody reaches the pinnacle of their career, or achieves, solves a global problem, now they value that as success. Or is a good father or a good mother, or there are so many ways that one can define what each of these words mean. So I would like us to think about these words, go through the list, and select 3 that you will say, oh, these are the most important values to me. We've spoken about achievement, we've spoken about success, kindness. We are in the process of learning more about leadership, and the idea that you are here today, the fact that you are here today to learn about this is an evidence of self-leadership, because learning leads to improvement, and improvement leads to empowerment, which leads to more leadership, more power, and on and like that. It's a continuous value chain. So do you value health? What does that mean? Does it mean you need to exercise more? Does it mean you need to eat, change your diet? What does it mean? Integrity. What does integrity mean? Does it mean you need to be a person of your word, for instance? If you say you're going to do something, you do that thing. People can rely on you when you say something, rely on your word. So you look at this list, and this is by no means an exhaustive list. It's just something to get us started, thinking about things that might be regarded as values. And then we'll now select. So by now you should have like at least one value that you consider to be a non-negotiable, that you consider to be important for you as an individual. Me, I value learning. Any idea I have.
Should we be dropping the values in the chat box, or what would you
It's
want?
voluntary. It's voluntary. If you want, you can share what you have, but do take notes. Thank you, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea is to take note of it, what you have, because we're going to work with it in a few minutes. So just take note of it. If you want to share, you can put it in the chat area. That, oh, this is your 3 top values, and then we can move on. So this is still on the screen, and if you're still thinking about it, please feel free to go ahead. If you have any questions also, you can drop it. Like I said, this is by no means an exhaustive list, and we always encourage everyone to add to the list. So what values do you think are missing from our list? As I was going through it, I thought about temperance. The Bible talks about being modest. Modesty is another way of describing temperance, being measured, or exercising self-control in the things that we do, say, what we eat, and all that. I think is a fantastic virtue, or something of value for someone to have. So I would personally add temperance to this list. But you can please drop in the chat area whatever values. Please mute.
Please mute yourselves. Mute yourself, please. Mute yourself. If you're not the presenter, please mute yourself.
Thank you, Shane. So please feel free to put in the chat area whatever you think is missing from this list. All right, so before I move on to the next slide, I just maybe by a show of thumbs up emoji in the classroom, if we can indicate if we're done with selecting our 3 core values. Just let me know if you're done before we move on to the next slide. Or if you need a little, maybe a minute more to make your choice. Are we getting anything? I'm not in the classroom, so I can't see. Are we getting any kind of feedback?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. People
All
are
right.
dropping. People are dropping their responses.
Okay, so we can move on then.
Yes,
great.
Please do.
All right, so that's that for values. Now, what are we going to do with our values? We're going to set goals. So I'm sure most of us, or some of us, may have come across the idea of setting goals, SMART goals. As the framework of SMART goals came out, we've had additions to that framework, the idea of smarter or smartest goals. We'll just have a quick look at all of those and see how they connect to our values. So SMART goals, the idea is something you want to accomplish, but it has to be very specific. So you have a value, and the value is success. Or no, that one is a bit wider. Let's talk about health, for instance, as an example, health. So you say, oh, I want to be healthier. Do you think that is a SMART goal, being healthier? So it sounds a bit vague, a bit just random, too general, too wide. What does it mean specifically? So being specific about what you want to accomplish in terms of your health is the first step in making sure that your goal is SMART. So instead of saying, I want to be healthier, you can say something like, I want to I want to change my diet, eat certain types of food that you've not been eating before. Oh, I want to eat more vegetables, for instance, or eat more fruits. I want to eat less carbs, so things like that. That is very specific. Or I want to do more exercise. I want to exercise more. Okay. Those are specific things that you want to do. So we can see there's an action there, and there is clarity about what that action is. So the next step is measure. How do you measure that you are on track? How will you track your progress towards being healthier, right? You want to be healthier. And the thing that you want to do to be healthier is to exercise more. So that one is very easy now to measure if you are exercising more. If you were at 5 minutes a day before, you can always increase to maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so it's relative to your starting point. And with that, you can now track that, oh, okay, I'm getting better. I used to be able to run 100 meters. Now I can run 200 meters. It's very simple. It's easy to track. So that's the wonderful thing about making your goal specific, you can now track it, you can measure if you are making progress. Now, the crucial question is it achievable? Somebody that has not been running before now wants to run 5K just in the next 2-3 weeks. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's reasonable? Do you think that's achievable? So this is where you need to ask yourself such questions. Let's use another example. For instance, I want to get into school. I want to, get admission to study a higher education, a BSc, an MSc, something. And I have decided that something specific I'm going to do to achieve that goal is to write JAMB, for instance, or the next JAMB that is coming up, I'm going to write it so that I can get admission into a university or an institute of higher education, right? So that is very simple. How will you track the progress for that? You write the exam, you prepare for the exam and you write the exam. Now, is it achievable? What resources, what foundation, what preparation, what are the things that you need to put in place in order to make that happen? If you assess all those available to you, then you will know whether you can achieve this goal or not. And it is important to be as realistic as possible here. Faith is wonderful, but you need to know where you're starting from and where you need to apply a leap of faith so that you are clear about what you are praying for and what God can, come in and do what he can do. You need to do what you can do. And this is where you are able to assess. Now, the next question is how relevant this is to your values. We're going to discuss this a little bit more in a few more minutes, but this is key. This is crucial. This is one of those things that will help us not to be tossed to and fro. Oh, everybody is doing this, therefore me too, I will go and do it. No. What are your core values? This goal that you have set, does it align with your core values? If it doesn't align, you're wasting your time because you will soon lose motivation, soon lose interest, and you've invested your time and effort in pursuing something that is just not inside your spirit, it's not inside your soul. So why are you doing it? This is very important. And yes, we're trying to be smart using this framework, and it starts with specific, measurable, achievable. But I would say, first of all, take it up there after you have decided that this is what I want to do. Immediately you are done with the specifying what you want to accomplish. Come down to this relevance and check whether it aligns with your core values. So, as I'm talking, please be thinking about your values, be thinking about your goals, what you want to achieve. Is it school? Is it personal goals and ambitions? Something with your family life? If you value your family and you want to do something about your family life, if you value balance and you want to do something about your work-life balance, whatever it is, be thinking about that value and the goals, the activities, the actions that you have put in place up to this point and how they align. Then, of course, time bound. You can't just be saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you didn't put any kind of time frame in place to be sure that within acceptable time frame, you can achieve those goals. Putting time frame in place also has the advantage of ensuring that you are able to come back and review. And that brings us to that smarter, the additional ER at the end of a smart there. Is for you to evaluate, and you set your tracking, how you will measure, how you will track your goals. Now, are you on track? Each of those metrics that you have put in place to measure that, oh, you are moving towards your goals, are you on track with them? If you said, oh, for instance, we were talking about health, exercising more, running 100 meters. If you said, oh, I want to be able to run 100 meters in 3-4 weeks time, how do you get to that point? You can't just from zero get to that point. You need to put some milestones in place. Or by 2 days or 3 days time, I should be able to run 50 or run 20. Just break it all down into simple steps that you will now use to track. That's the general idea. And then review. Life happens. This is important. Life has a way of just, it's the way of life. It just changes. So you need to review your goals in view of current circumstances. 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, these were your circumstances. You set this goal. Last year, months ago, whatever time, you set that goal. Now, things have happened for sure, because this is life. This is life. Things will definitely happen. And some things have changed. Review your goal. Is it still smart? Is it still specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound in view of your current circumstances? That is the whole idea of making your goal smarter. Now we go to smartest. How do you now make, some people prefer to use this smartest framework. It's basically just adding ST to smarter. So we're now talking about sustainability. The whole world is talking about sustainability. You have limited resources, and these resources, they get depleted over time. So considering the resources available to you, how will you continue to maintain or to pursue this goal in view of these resources? Can you afford? Can you bear? Can you carry the load of pursuing these goals over time? So it's a sort of reviewing your goals to be sure that, oh, the resources available to you will sustain you in pursuing the goal. And of course, we keep tailoring this adaptation. The laws of the physical laws of nature have taught us that if you don't adapt, you are just getting ready to be relegated to the back, So adapt. As circumstances change, review and adapt. So that's that for smarter, smartest framework. And like I said, the most important thing is, let's look at how this goal connect to our core values. That's, if we take anything away from this conversation, let it be this: whatever goals we're setting for ourselves, it must align with our core values. It must. And are we able to create or recreate that value for others through those goals? So you achieve a goal. We're using the exercise. Are you able to influence somebody else? you're out running, and somebody else, a friend, sees you, sees your commitment, sees it seems as if this person is getting results. Please, can you explain to me how you are doing this thing? That is that to me is an ultimate achievement for when we are setting our goals. So that's an indication that our goals aligns with our values, and um, they are smart. Okay, so at this point, those are the key areas that I want us to, focus on, and those are the key points of our conversation today. Like I said, it's not going to be a very long talk. It's just to remind us of what is key, what is important, ensuring that our goals align with our core values, and we are clear about what those our core values are. Okay, so we get frequently asked questions around this thing. These are just things for you to consider. Anytime we have this conversation with undergraduates, they always ask certain questions. So these are generally what those questions are about. So it's about being intentional, being focused. So how did you show your core value today? So you say you value your health, you value kindness. Were you kind today? What did you learn about yourself in the value definition process? So when we spoke about those values in the first slide, where we said this is a list of values, choose your top 3 values. Were you surprised after thinking about it? Were you surprised that, why am I thinking about this? It never occurred to me that I value kindness or I value health over this or that, So think about it. What did you learn about yourself in that process? Have you taken any step towards making your goal smart? And if you have a smart goal already that is aligned to your core values, have you taken any step towards achieving your goals? The fourth question I will ask us to consider is, what did you learn about yourself in the goal setting process?
Stella, Stella, can you round off in say 2-3 minutes so that we can take feedbacks? Are you almost done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what did you learn about yourself in the goal setting process? When we said make sure that your goal is aligned to your value, were you surprised, or was it like an affirmation to you that, oh, my goals align, or I'm okay, my goals are smart and they align with my values? Or is this something that you need to work on? So if it is something that you need to work on, then what will you do differently? Another question I will ask is, going back to what we discussed, why is it important for your core value and your goals to align? We had already discussed this. It's just to refresh our memory. And what was easy or hard about making your goal smart or smarter or smartest, whichever framework or out of the 3 frameworks you want to use? And how did linking your goal to your values affect your motivation? So this goes back to question number 6. Why is your core value goal alignment relevant? Because it will affect your motivation. So if your goal, linking your goal to your value affects your motivation, and that means that it will affect how you will sustain or stay the track, stay the path, stay the course until you achieve your goals. All right, that's all from me. Do we have any questions? And at this point, I will come back into the classroom.
All right. Thank you. Stella, for that very insightful lecture about leadership. And there are a few things that I've personally taken. You spoke about, you started with some Bible verses that encourages us to be firm and not be tossed up and down. And in being firm and not being tossed up and down, I mean, we have to now come to what are those things that helps us to take our stand? What are those things that help us to stay grounded as humans? What are those things that help us to show maturity as humans? And of course, you spoke about values. What are your core values? What are those things that you hold dear? What are those things that are non-negotiable for you as a human being? And that is basically what your values are. You spoke about how your values are your compass to life, how your values shape and determine your direction in life. Very powerful insight, very powerful. And of course, you shared some values with us, asked us to pick three that are very important to us. Personally, I picked integrity, family, growth, then of course spirituality. I mean, on as part of it, amongst other things. And of course, we went into talking about. Of course, you asked if there are some core values that are missing. I think humility is missing. Self-control. I mean, it's also a very powerful core values. And of course, talked about setting goals. And basically, I mean, it all ties into the fact that how do you align your goals with your core values? Say, for instance, I want to be healthier. I mean, health is a core value to me. What goals? How do you align your goals? What goals are you setting? What are your goals that helps you to achieve this value? Right? Do you eat more veggies? Do you eat healthy? I mean, those are your goals. I mean, what kind of food do you eat on a daily basis to achieve that value of health? Right. So it's all boils down to the fact that if you want to lead, you must be able to take control of your life. And that is the whole summary for me. Take control of your life, determine what is very important to you, determine what are the driving force of your life as a person, what is driving you, what is your motivation, what are the goals you set on a daily basis. If you want to influence people, if you want to have influence on others, then you must start by having influence on yourself and determining these basic things about your life. So, Stella, I mean, I cannot thank you enough. When we spoke, you said you have this knowledge and you just want to share it, and that's the motivation for you. And I'm happy that you're doing this, and it's only God that can bless you, really. God bless you indeed. So the floor is open for we are trying as much as possible to work within that time frame of 7 p.m. Because you know that people are using their data, and data is life, right? So yes. Do we have anybody with comments, or maybe just by way of, I mean, what you're taking away? Maybe there are certain core values. Maybe you're not really paying attention to the issue of core values before. I mean, some of us just leave. We really don't know what these things are. But now from this lecture, you're able to identify those things that are dear to you, right? What are your core values? What are your goals? I like to have you unmute yourself. If you have something to share, if there's something you've learned today, please go ahead and share with us. So the floor is open. Can we interact for the next 5 minutes thereabouts? So the floor is open. Who is going first? Yes, anybody? You may even want to share your core values with us, right? So that we can know what makes you tick, what you cannot negotiate, so that when we are coming to you next time, we know that this person cannot negotiate this. Yes. The floor is open. Unmute yourself and speak. We still have quite a number of people in the house. Yes, who is going first? Anybody? Even if it's to tell us about your core values, I mean, certain goals that you are setting from today, certain intentional decisions. She spoke about being intentional, right? And interestingly, we're having women convention in church today, and it's about the theme was the intentional woman, right? So, and she spoke about being intentional. I think the spirit is working, the spirit is moving, right? So, yes, what are the things you want to be intentional about from today? Yes, my co-convener Eboluwa is raising his hand. Ebo, please, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Shewa, and thanks, Stella. It's been a privilege listening to you once again. You've actually shared some very vital things that we need to take note of. In my little journey also, in training, learning, and development, I've always been a promoter of leading oneself first. You know, in the journey of leaderships, most of us we are always too quick to start helping others or trying to lead people, lead teams without necessarily imbibing some of these important things that you've shared with us on our own self. So, for everyone on this call that is also aspiring to be a leader in any area, maybe in the church, in the society, there are certain things that we just need to imbibe, and that's what has been shared today in terms of core value. Personally, I just think of some certain core values without connecting it with what are my personal goals. How do I at least ensure that these two areas work together to actually have a better me? So these things like this have actually been shared, and I'm taking note of them. I'm even trying to work on my core value again. Let me see if it's really something that I should consider, and if there's need for me to change some of them. Thank you so much, Stella.
Thank you, Ebo. Thank you. Interestingly, I mean, it is just 2 months to the end of the year. So maybe it is time for you to start having a personal retreat, personal introspection, to look at the core values that are important to you starting from the new year, right? So yes, we are assuming that this year is almost gone. It's okay, that's fine. But you can start afresh from the new year. Just like Ebo said, what are those? I mean, there's need for you to review your core values and see, I want to be intentional from this year. I want to look at my core values and be deliberate, be intentional about aligning my everyday goals with those core values, right? So thank you very much, Ebo. Yes, any other person? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? You still have the floor. Let's hear from you. What is that thing that you've picked from this very enlightening lecture? Yes, leadership starts with you. You are your own leader first. If you can't lead yourself, you cannot lead others. Yes, another person, another person. Why are people not speaking up? I know you have a lot to say. Folashade, I've been hoping to hear from you. I know you will say something. Yes, Folashade, please unmute yourself. You are one of those people that I always look forward to hearing from. Unless you are in the train or eating.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, Shadi, good evening.
Yeah, I would just like to add that self leadership is just, I'll just say self awareness, self management. Just you need to know yourself first before you can even think of what your values will be, and you need to also prioritize your values as well. So it's not just about saying, oh, family or oh, kindness. You as a person, what do you think you can even offer your own self before you even start saying, okay, I want to lead myself? You need to be aware of yourself consciously before you can even say, oh, these are my values. So I'll just add that. Thank you.
Thank you, Shadi. Thank you. Very powerful. If you cannot lead yourself, then you cannot lead people. It starts with self-awareness. Very powerful word. Self-awareness. It was Socrates who said, "Man, know thyself." Right? Know thyself. That is the foundation of this all. If you're able to know who you are, what are the things that matter to me? What are the things that are important to me? Then you can now be in a position to lead others, because one, you know yourself, and then with that knowledge you are also able to, offer leadership to others. So I love that word, self-awareness. How many of us knows ourselves here? How many of us knows ourselves? Do you know yourself? Can you say that this is who I am? Right? Have you sat down to look at what makes you you? What is unique about you? Right? What are those things that you consider very important about your life? Or are you just living? Are you just flowing with the tide? Are you just a happy-go-lucky? There is no leadership in life. I mean, there's no way. You can't really do much if you cannot answer these basic questions about yourself. So I think it is important for us to note that down, that we should be intentional about self-awareness, should be intentional about self-leadership. I mean, how much can you control yourself? How much can you discipline yourself? How much can you, how much can you, I mean, uh, direct your own self? Not to talk of doing same for others. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people fail in leadership because, of course, they can't even lead themselves. Yes. Any other contribution? So while some of us are gathering our thoughts, I want to, on behalf of this powerful house, say another big thank you to our speaker, Stella. She voluntarily offered to take this session. Voluntarily. She just reached out to me and said that can I take this session? So date. And I was like, why not? We are always excited to have you, right? So, and that shows a high level of leadership, shows a high level of selflessness. So we appreciate that greatly. Stella, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to us tonight. We love you. We thank you, and we pray that the Almighty God will bless you indeed, and He will help you to achieve that which you have set out to do. You will achieve it by the power of the Almighty God. Yes, I want to. Yes, is somebody speaking? Okay, yes, Stella.
No, I
Okay,
said amen. Amen to
okay,
the
okay.
prayers.
All right,
Thank
all
you
right.
very
So,
much.
all right, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think at this point we'll be bringing the meeting to a gradual close. Let me remind you that this is Mindshift webinar series, and we do this every month, every last Sunday of the month. The whole idea is to help young people like yourself, like myself, to have a mental shift, a shift in our thinking, a shift in our thought process, so that we can improve our life. Okay, so it helps that every time you attend this program, you note down one thing or the other and determine that this particular thing I'm going to put it into action and help me to improve. That's the whole point. Okay, so that said, like I said earlier, by the grace of the Almighty God, we will be having the next meeting physically. It will be physical. It will be a seminar, not a webinar. So November edition, which will be the last of the year, is going to be physical, 29th of November, which is the last Saturday of November, at Christ Witness Evangelical Mission, Quem headquarters at K2 Janikin, Lagos. And we already have a retinue, a constellation of stars, powerful speakers who they've not been on this program virtually, but they are going to be coming physically, okay, to speak to us on, and it's all going to be centered around skills, the power of skill, even as a young person. I mean, how to be a better person. What skills do you need to acquire? What are those ways by which you can position yourself for growth, for impact, for influence, right? Those are things that we're going to be speaking about, right? And by the grace of God, we're looking forward. Anytime from now, we'll start having our flyers and start doing the publicity. Please look out for it. If you're interested in volunteering for that program next month, please reach out to me and we'll see how we can work together. And of course, the Mindshft community has been posted on the chat group. Please check it out. Click the link, join the community. I mean, we interact from time to time, and there we'll also be sharing information about the physical seminar. Before I round off, I'd like to take a word from my co-convener, Ebolu Ajidonu. Ebon, do you have anything for us tonight?
Nothing really, just to also appreciate everyone that have been consistent, and please feel free to share this meeting with your friends, colleagues. Let them also be a partaker and also benefit from this initiative. Once again, we look forward to having you in the physical edition coming up very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we'd like to say arrivederci, au revoir. Thank you. Adeyinka Folashade from the UK, thank you. Joseph Victoria, thank you. Those are the people that are still in the chat room. Damilola Gbanja, thank you. Deborah, I see Deborah Kunduji here, but it should be Deborah Jidonu. Thank you, Favor Joe Boy. Thank you. Folani Bisola, how can I not mention you? Bisola, please chat me off after this meeting. Thank you. Michael Joe Boy, I see you. That's Pastor Komen, right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nicholas Power, thank you. Oluwadamilola Dada, I hope it's the same Oluwadamilola that I know. Thank you, Damilola. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. Olabi Tosin, thank you. I hope it's the same Tosin I know. Shedrack Padonu, and a whole lot of others who are still in the chat box or who have left. God bless you. See you on the group and see you next month physically at Quem. Have a blessed night. Thank you, our speaker. God bless you.